It was supposed to be a mere youth celebration, a day where the future of the nation, Zimbabwe's young and restless, gather to pretend everything is fine while the ruling elite pats itself on the back. But no, in true ZANU-PF fashion, the event morphed into something entirely different, a live demonstration of paranoia, backstabbing, and thinly veiled power struggle, all wrapped up in a suffocating blanket of staged euphoria. First things first, we woke up to the realization that the day is not just National Youth Day. Oh no, that would be too simple for a regime that thrives on inflating its own importance. Instead, it's the Robert Mugabe National Youth Day. Because, of course, why let the man rest in peace when his name can still be dragged around for political mileage? This naturally raises the question: will we one day have an Emerson Mnangagwa Youth Day? Will every future ZANU PF get their own public holiday as part of some bizarre dictatorial calendar? Or is this just another desperate attempt to cement the ruling party's presence in a future where they are little more than a bad memory? But let's talk about the real highlight of the event, the suffocating tension that one could cut with a knife. On one side, there was Chiwenga and his faction, trying their best to wear some plastic smiles while silently plotting their next move. On the other, there were the National Youth Service recruits, the ZANU PF's rented crowd, who seemed to have received a memo that their job for the day was to scream their lungs out in support of Mnangagwa's dream of ruling until 2030 and possibly beyond if he gets his way. If anyone had any doubts about this event being anything other than a dictatorship parade, those doubts were drowned out by the deafening chants of ED Fair from the brainwashed youths who were probably promised Millie Meal and t-shirts in exchange for their vocal cords or some $10 rewards. And there was Chiwenga, the man of the moment, or rather the man of the clenched jaw and furrowed brows. Clearly irritated by the circus around him, he resorted to what can only be described as the classic "I am not amused at this nonsense" pause. Hands stuffed deep into his pockets, face blank, possibly contemplating whether it was time to pull the plug on this whole charade. And while Chiwenga stood there, looking like he had a migraine, Mnangagwa was busy indulging in his favorite pastime, doing the chicken wing dance to Kutonga Kwaro Gamba. Yes, dear Zimbabweans, while the nation starves, while the economy bends, and while state security agents chase after opposition voices, the president finds joy in flapping his arms like a distressed hen on a stage. If this isn't leadership at its finest, then what is? But of course, beneath the surface of all this political theater lies the real story: fear, uncertainty, and desperation. Reports suggest that just before the event, Mnangagwa had a tense meeting with top army generals where he allegedly threatened them with dismissal. Why? Because, as we all know, the military holds the key to power in Zimbabwe, and whispers have been growing louder that they are shielding a certain blessed Geza from arrest. The fact that none of the generals dared to respond to questions speaks volumes. Something is brewing, and even the most faithful of Mnangagwa bootlickers can feel it. And then there is the $1,000,000 question. When will the real signal for change go off? The nation is tired, the people are restless, and even those inside ZANU PF's gravy train are running on fumes. The Geza revolution is no longer just a whisper in dark corners. It's a ticking time bomb. But who will light the fuse and when? Because one thing is clear: this system is rotting from within. And no amount of forced cheers, no number of youth day gimmicks, and certainly no amount of chicken wing dancing will stop what's coming. So, dear Zimbabweans, the circus may continue, but the audience is no longer entertained. The moment of pretense is over. It's time to act. It's time to remove the Rigananda. And if those in power are still hoping that they can dance their way out of the crisis, well, they might just find themselves dancing straight into political oblivion. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to Zimwaves TV, because unlike the propaganda you get on state media, we tell it as it is.
Kupinda mumugwagwa varwive hondo imi magandanga vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini kana kuedza bhuru wayo kana kumbungo pashurugwi vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini muzvikoro nana chiremba muzvitoro tayasipora vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini.
We will mobilize ourselves to deliver the final blow to a dictatorship that lacks any wisdom or empathy. We are now ready to deliver the final push, a push that needs all of us to face the odds and build a new country. We are going to give you a clearer signal soon. It will come before 2300 hours at night, so that we end this 2030 business.
Kupinda mumugwagwa varwive hondo imi magandanga vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini kana kuedza bhuru wayo kana kumbungo pashurugwi vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini. muzvikoro nana chiremba muzvitoro tayasipora vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavhenda varairi dzine masoja tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini.
We will mobilize ourselves to deliver the final blow to a dictatorship that lacks any wisdom or empathy. We are now ready to deliver the final push, a push that needs all of us to face the odds and build a new country. We are going to give you a clearer signal soon. It will come before 2300 hours at night so that we end this 2030 business.